Hey, AfterBuzzers, welcome to the MasterChef After Show. We're breaking down Season 11, Episode 7, Vets, Jets, and Home Cooks. That's right, our home cooks are entering the danger zone, and we're going to break it all down next.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Ooh, yeah, a little Kenny Loggins to get you in the mood. That's right. The ladies breaking it down here. Welcome, everybody. AfterBuzzers, everyone else, all the ships at sea. Why not? To the MasterChef After Show here on AfterBuzz TV. I'm your captain.
You're supposed to do. I didn't know that you.
Oh, it's the right.
Is it?
I'm sorry. I digress.
I
I
didn't
don't know. Well, one way to salute, I'm your captain. That's right. but first of all, I could have played Reunited, and I could have done that because we finally have the full panel together here.
Yay!
Look at this. I mean, we certainly were missing Lem Gonzalez. He decided he was too good for us this season. Yeah, whatever, Lem.
Too poetic.
Yes, but we got the rest of us to break
All
down
day.
the MasterChef After Show for you. I'm one of your hosts, Frank Moran. You can follow me on Twitter at HappyGoJackie. Coming up right to my immediate left, we've got the lovely and talented, without any food for us to eat.
I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming,
Maria
you guys.
Provenzano.
I didn't bake today. I got my hair and nails done. That is the truth. I'm sorry, I cannot lie to you. I am Maria Provenzano. You can find me at Maria Provenzano on Twitter, and all my information will be there. And next week, I will bake. I promise.
She better.
I promise.
Just kidding. Hey, everybody. It's your girl, Rhavin with the V, and I am not mad at you. Do you, boo?
Yeah.
I'd get my hair did, too.
I know. I had a mommy meltdown, so I was like, and I need a moment. So that happened.
Oh, sorry. And you can find me at B Stays Busy. B-I-Z-Z-Y.
Yes, she does stay busy.
That's right, yeah.
That's
And
right.
I'll pretend that I'm not mad for this episode. No.
Or hungry. Or hungry.
If I pass out, just know, Maria. No. So we're going to be breaking down Episode 7 here. Our home cooks, they head over to Camarillo Air Force Base.
Yes, I thought that was cool.
Now, all right, so the chefs are right there on the tarmac, and then all of a sudden we see up in the sky, plane flying in, and we see Gordon Ramsay.
Behind the wheel. Well, do you say wheel?
Or I guess, yeah, you could say that, behind the stick, behind the wheel. Yeah.
Driving that thing.
Come on.
Flying that thing.
There's no way for reals that he was flying that.
It didn't come off real to
It
me, but
looked
he
fake.
very well may know how to fly a plane.
That's a B-52. I mean, I don't know. Come
Those
on.
are World War II fighter jets. Like, those are legit.
The one thing that I was thinking, because obviously they got the shot outside of the
Yeah.
plane, and I was like, is there another plane that close to them?
Well,
where they're
it
getting
looked
that
like a
shot?
green screen. When the three of them were in there, it looked green screen to me. Do you guys agree? Because
We
thought,
definitely need someone to tell us.
Yeah.
We need someone that was there to tell
Yeah.
us.
Now, speaking of, if you want to tell us here, Maria has got the chat open. So, of course, you can like us on Facebook, give us those 5 stars on iTunes, follow us there on Twitter, hop on, subscribe to the YouTube channel, chat with us as well. So if you have any questions about the episode, especially with Maria, she is the cook amongst the 3 of us there. So if you have any cook-related
Robin
questions.
cooks a lot, though, too.
I'm all right. I like to eat more than I like to cook, so.
If you check out
could be yin and
Robin's
yang.
Facebook feed there or Instagram, you can see those late night little eats that she gets
Yeah,
together.
she does do that.
Yes. I see those late night feed.
Late night.
Yes.
Munches. No, I'm just kidding.
So jump away, and Maria will answer any of your questions there, as we continue with the episode.
Yes.
Yeah. So they fly in, they do a nice little landing. We've got, of course, Gordon, we've got Christina, and we have Aaron Sanchez
Love him.
back
I
again.
love him, too.
Love him.
And he was all, don't forget me, guys. I'm here too. All right. And Sean, I guess I'm rooting for Sean, but I also feel him kind of annoying this episode too. He's already like, man, this is the biggest challenge ever, bro.
Yeah, he's kind of
I was off
much.
him this episode.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not going to jump to the challenge, but I don't know. I've been tired of him.
You weren't tired of him?
I'm getting tired.
Yeah, me too. It's
Yeah.
like every time.
Yeah, he's definitely an A personality type, so he likes to just kind of be running the
Yeah.
show whenever he can, it seems like. But we do find out that the challenge is that there are 101 veterans from all branches of the military, And so they're going to be making a meal for them. Who's going to cook it for them? Of course, our home cooks. Mm-hmm. And since Alejandro won last week's, he had the best dish last week, he gets to be kind of taken apart to the side. He gets to stand aside while the other rest of the home cooks, they have to decide who's going to be on the red team and who's going to be on the blue team.
Right.
And that's ridiculous to watch.
Which was really
it was
funny.
the weirdest thing ever.
It was really funny.
Yeah, it was weird.
That had to be staged. Come on, because they're all running around like dum-dums. Just like, just like all like this. Like, come on, guys, seriously?
I think that was so real. I don't know why.
I thought it was real too because I think like nobody
everyone's
wanted
trying to be together, and then they're like, okay, we're all still here.
But leave it to our boy Sean.
Your
He's
boy.
Like, oh, yeah, my boy.
Yeah.
My boy Sean says, hey, guess what, guys? I'm a leader. I'm going over here, and I'm going to stake my claim that this is the blue team. And some other people follow him.
Somebody had to.
Oh, there you go.
It would have been awkward had no one followed him. Just saying.
And we do find out that Alejandro's advantage is that he gets to decide which of those two teams that he wants to captain. Mm-hmm. So just seeing how they're kind of split up, would you have picked any team before, like red or blue?
I probably would have picked red.
Really?
Tenoria and Terry.
Tenoria.
Tenoria.
Anywhere
I always want to say
Tenoria.
Trenoria. I don't know
Anywhere
why.
Tenoria is, I'm going.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure, like, if I could make a prediction today, I feel like it's her, Terry, that's going to win the whole thing. And when she becomes a chef, wherever she's going to be, I want to eat her food.
Yes.
Like, that's how much
She's the truth.
I mean, seriously,
She's
that's
the
everything
truth.
she makes. Everything. I'm like, I want that.
Yeah, and I would agree with you. With Terry is a strong second
Mm-hmm.
contender for sure. Because he just very low key, very humble guy, but he just really makes some good
I
food
think
as
he's
well.
a sweet personality. I just like
That
I
makes
just like
it that
him.
much better too.
Yeah.
He's like a
Big-
comfort bear.
Yeah, teddy
He
bear.
makes good food.
So now the red team, of course, since Alejandro picks the blue team, and that's
Mm-hmm.
got Sean and some other people on there, but the red team's got to pick a team captain. So who's it going to be? Who's going to stand up and take the lead? Did you guys expect David to step up?
No. We're both like, no.
I didn't.
I didn't either. No.
Because I feel like with David, other than like that, those first two, the first initial episode where he got to win the white apron, we haven't really seen much of David. He's kind of been in the background so far this season.
He said in a previous episode that was his game plan, though. He said
That's
he
true.
was going to stay
Yeah.
under the radar and
Yep.
then, like, jump up when necessary. So I think he must have felt that it was
I mean, I was
necessary.
definitely happy to see him step up.
Mm-hmm.
I was excited.
I think it was time. I mean, if you're going to show, like, you kind of have to, you do, because he has been so under the radar.
Are you two on this on the show? Do you follow more David's thing? Would you stay under the radar even longer, or would you feel like right about now is the time, if this opportunity presented
this
itself, you
moment
would
in the
step
show?
up? Yeah, you would step up and say, "All right, I'll be captain."
I don't know. I would have stayed back a little longer. I would have just waited to see more of, the negative
Yeah. that's
aspects of
true.
everyone else first
Yeah.
before.
Because I feel like it's tough because in previous seasons they've always done this sort of challenge, and then whoever the losing team is, they go to the pressure test. But 2 weeks ago when they did this sort of same challenge for the wedding reception, they didn't have a pressure test. They just
Right.
went directly to elimination.
Right.
So I could understand somebody's reluctance to want to be a captain because that really shines a spotlight on you. And if things go
That's
sour
true.
and you don't have a pressure test,
Yeah.
you're really in a prime position to go home.
And at this point, you either can have a pressure test or not. You
Yeah.
never know how it's going
Yeah.
to swing. So I would sit back a little bit and just observe more.
I think I would too. I mean, it's pretty ballsy to.
And you see how that turned out. He felt some type of way.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So,
So David steps up though, and they find out that the challenge here for 101 veterans is that they're going to be cooking hanger steak. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have to be honest, I've never had hanger steak. Good.
what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, I
it
mean,
seems
it's-
like more of an appetizer steak for me.
Yeah, it can.
with
I mean,
French fries or
it can.
something.
It can be hanger steak can be tough. Because it's easily to make tough, I guess is the best way to put it. But and it's all about cutting it against the grain in order for it to like be edible. If you cut with the grain, then it's too chewy.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I've experienced that before.
Ugh.
I didn't know
Tell
why.
us about
I
this.
didn't know why, but now I know. Thank you. I mean, I didn't do it. It was someone else.
Yeah,
who cooked
but that's
it, but I
why.
was like,
Yeah,
I don't think I
allow
like-
with meat. That makes a big difference.
How you cut it?
Yeah, how you cut it. Going with or against the grain.
Oh, interesting. Because I was wondering, like, why they were slicing it all up. I guess now I know why.
And I think they slice up because I think like we've seen before in Hell's Kitchen, they want to see the doneness as well. But I think a lot of times when you see hanger steaks, they're sliced, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So the teams have to make hanger steak, of course. They have to have two sides, and they have to have a sauce to go with it as well. So it doesn't seem like too insurmountable of a task. It's just making sure that teams can kind of get to a consensus of like what they want to do with it. And so the red team, the blue team, Sean wants to use honey in his glaze. And he wants to glaze this up. And now, was it Brandy was saying, no. If the sugar hits the grill, it's going to blacken
burn it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, a lot of barbecue sauces have sugar in them, and a lot of like marinade. A lot of things actually do. Maybe just because he wanted to add so much. Sometimes it's like just a touch of like brown sugar. You find a lot of brown sugar in barbecue sauces, and I think if you have just if you have just a small amount. It can caramelize it nicely, but I think because he was really like lots and lots and lots of honey, I think maybe that's why it was burning. But
he also pointed out that the spots on the grill where the meat was placed, that has a lot to do with it too.
I felt like it was weird for him to really push to have that honey pepper glaze on there, and knowing how Brandy felt about it. But Sean should have been just running that whole show, because he seemed to like, if he's done this so much and he knows that it works, he really should have been running that grill.
Well, I think they needed two people to do the grill, because he was doing it too.
Yeah.
So I think they just needed it, but I think his whole thing was, and I've actually just recently heard about this, because a lot of times you hear when you cook meat to do like one side and then wait like however long depending on the thickness of it, and then flip and cook the other side. And I had just recently heard that you should do like a minute
and go back and forth. That's what they were doing.
Yeah, so that's what he was saying, and I think maybe she wasn't doing that, and he's like, oh, this is, since I do this all the time, he knows how to cook it. But he's like, you got to keep moving it.
But I think what Frank is saying is he should have at least broken that down to her in the beginning, or tell, this is how I do it, this is how it will work if we do it this way, because she was already against it, which means she didn't have much skill regarding it. So it didn't seem like he was on it at first.
No, it didn't seem like it. And we found out that the blue team, they're doing a honey pepper hanger steak with chimichurri sauce, garlic mashed potatoes, bacon, pan-seared sprouts. Sound tasty? Yeah?
They both sound
bacon and Brussels sprouts always go well together.
I just like my bacon crispy, so
yeah, if it's soggy, then no bueno.
And a honey pepper glaze with the chimichurri sauce?
Yeah, I mean, I think that if it done correctly, like it could balance each other out, because the chimichurri is spicy, has a little bit of citrus, and I think it could
extra kick.
And so then and of course the steak is going to be savory, and then I think with like the honey, if done properly, it could be really rich too. So it just it's all about having those like
good balance.
good balance of everything.
And the red team, they go with salt and pepper hanger steak with a mushroom bourbon sauce, bacon mac and cheese, and then zucchini squash marinated and lightly grilled.
It seemed basic.
It seemed
hella basic.
Yeah.
So choose between those two?
I was going to ask you, Maria, how you felt about that, just doing the salt and pepper.
And to be honest, if it's a good cut of meat, that's all you really need to make it shine. Hanger steaks can be tough because they are just... they almost need something else to bring them up a notch. But that's what I thought the mushroom bourbon sauce was going to be. I think that's maybe why it was good, because it had that sauce, and I thought that sauce actually sounded good. I was really like, ooh, I would try that. But then everything else I think just did seem really basic, safe, which is whatever. But
all right, so just going on description and sight alone for these two dishes, if you had to choose, which do you think seemed more tempting to you? More appealing.
I want the chimichurri.
Yeah, I would want chimichurri.
Okay, all right. Well,
I think the sauces really change it. Yeah, chimichurri I think would sound better.
I'm sorry, I said chimichurri. Chimichurri.
What did you say?
I don't think I said that. I think I said chimichurri instead of chimichurri.
Chimichurri.
My bad.
So they get the competition going, and already DeAndre, again, showing that he's just not the strongest guy in the kitchen there.
He was so ready, too.
Yeah.
He was so
fired up.
I was so ready for him to deliver.
He delivered badness.
How do you not salt the water?
How do you not taste your own? How do you not taste it?
Well, and especially, I mean, to be honest, when I'm making mashed potatoes at home, maybe just because I add so much, I don't know, I feel like I taste as I go so much that I'm like, I can add more salt, but I don't know, I guess.
Do we think he did not taste it at all?
Yeah, he must not have.
No, because I think if you would know.
How would you not taste your stuff when you're doing a challenge? I don't understand.
Now, I did love, though, that Gordon gets a spoon, DeAndre tastes it, and he just...
Oh, my God.
I'm not here to be... I'm not babysitting you.
That was... I'm like,
he was like,
sitting here...
Taste it. He's like...
Yeah, I'm sitting here at the AfterBuzz Studios. I literally just, busted out laughing out loud. I was like, this is hilarious.
Oh, bless his heart. Not
he's
even
like,
those colorful shoes can save him. Poor baby.
No.
Poor baby.
Oh, yeah. So I did like that. Gordon
That was
just
funny.
spoon feeding him. But then we see the steak burning for the blue team, and Brandy's already throwing Sean under the bus. Like, well, you know,
Quick.
it's just quick. Like, this is, Sean.
This is what I told him. I don't know why he didn't listen to me, Chef. This is what I told.
No, and I agree. As you're saying, Robin, I just feel like Sean
She's
should
trying to save her ass, though.
trying to save her ass, but I mean, Sean should have done a better
He
job.
wasn't even around.
Yeah.
He wasn't
Yeah.
even there at that station when that was going on. And I feel like if that was his idea, I think he should have at least supervised a little better.
If I was making such a strong case to have a seasoning or a glaze on something, I would make sure that I had some hand in how it was
And the
executed.
person you want to be on that station is against it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I would
true.
have already felt like, okay, so you don't know what you're doing when
Yeah.
it comes to this. So let me
Yeah.
help you or let me take over or some.
And if it's your specialty you do all the time, make sure you tell her. I mean, I don't know. And you never know. It's how quickly these things move. I think you probably don't think. Like, you're so in the moment and it's survival. You don't think, okay, I need to make sure to tell her how to cook meat.
Plus,
You know what I mean?
sometimes you put things in the atmosphere. How you feel
Yes.
is how it's going to happen.
Yes.
That's going to be the outcome. And Brandy was against it. Like, that makes no sense. So immediately, that is what she put out there
Mm-hmm.
into the universe. And immediately, that's the results she got. So I feel like you have to trust
That's
your
true.
team members.
Yeah, and I feel like Brandy should have just made a stronger case up front. Like, all right, if you guys want to go with this, I probably shouldn't cook it. Somebody else should cook this.
true.
That could have worked as well.
So, guys, I don't
Unless
think
she was just trying to sabotage the team. I don't know.
So of course we have one vet. We're chiming in with the vets, kind of getting their responses to see what they think of the meals. And one vet starts praising the red team. So you're like, ooh, maybe they're doing well. But then we cut over and we see that one vet from the is seeing one of the red team's plates doesn't have mushroom. Didn't get the sauce on there. So already Christina's bringing it back. We have three
It's
more.
so funny, like, when this happens, they act like it's like the most tragic thing in the entire world. They're like, there is no sauce on a plate. And like it's like I mean, these are veterans. These guys have seen it all. I think if they just say that they need sauce and then they get sauce, they're going to be happy. Like, there are worse things.
Yeah, but Christina really played it out.
I
You're
know.
right.
I don't
she
think
did.
always
I don't think the
does.
vets played it off. He just said, excuse me, everyone else has sauce.
Oh no,
I
they
don't.
were fine.
But
Yeah.
I think it's more embarrassing for her too, because obviously
I know, yeah. But it's just so funny how dramatic. She's dramatic. I mean, and I like her, but she's very dramatic about everything. She's like,
geez. The first plate was one thing, but then when she came back with 3,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I would have thrown those. I would have just thrown them at him, like, get your shit together.
Yeah.
And they come back in for a minute. It's like, which team is it coming back to?
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? But it comes back to the red team. And who's on cooking some of the hanger steak? It's our boy Manny.
Our boy,
I
man.
know,
Yes.
Manny.
And as he said last week, as we talked about the teases there, he was going to get a little chewing out from Gordon, and we saw a little bit of that. I would have loved to have seen how much of that went on in real time, for sure. But yeah,
It was probably a lot more than that.
yeah.
Gordon Ramsay was fired up this episode, though. He was like yelling at everybody about everything. I think because it was the veterans.
It's the veterans.
Yeah, but I will tell you, watching that, I was getting like teary-eyed and
was
chills
too.
watching these veterans. It really was. And the Camarillo Airport, you can actually, I know people who are getting married there. I did an entire project on Hallmark for their like buffet table, and I made the B-52 like little plaques. And out of wood. And then there was a Hawker Hurricane plaque that I had made too. So this is like, these things are legit. And so like watching, I had never actually seen the Camarillo Airport, and when they showed it, I was like, oh my God, I can't imagine. She had her grandfather, I'm going on a totally different topic, but her grandfather was a fighter in the World War II and flew one of those airplanes. So that's why, like, when you said Gordon Ramsay flew on one of those, I'm like, did he?
But did he really?
Did you fly one in when you were doing your project?
I wish. I'm fully capable, but no, I did not.
It was very touching, though. I did a little live tweeting as I was watching it last night, and it was very moving.
Yes, it
as
was.
each one came and did their salute, and I was just like, oh,
I know,
thank you,
it's
thank
really,
you.
yeah. It was really, I mean, I was emotional during, like, I was like, maybe it's just my day.
No, it was a moment. And
Yeah.
especially right now in these precious moments and times we're living in, it really did a number on me
Yes.
watching that. So
Yeah.
I appreciated this episode, at least for that. Not for the fact that our boy didn't do so well this episode.
I know,
but
Manny.
But I think I see the difference between Gordon and Christina, because when Christina, she puts on like the dramatics, it's just so obvious.
But it's so sad. She's so sad all the time.
Yeah. But I feel
she's the good cop, right?
I guess, but I feel like
She's
Gordon.
just sad. Stop
Gordon
being
is the
sad.
bad cop. She's supposed to be the good, the softer one.
I guess, yeah.
But I feel like I can buy Gordon in any scenario. If he's praising, if he's yelling at somebody, I just feel he's authentic in all those moments. And I feel Christina at times, which is like, Gordon, what's happening? What's happening, Gordon?
It's a lot of pressure being next to that man.
I would not mind being next to that man.
Gordon,
Tell us how you really
I hear
feel.
you.
I'm telling you, the more I see that man cook,
Oh my gosh.
and he's like sitting there chopping a chicken, which I would not think is
Man.
sexy, but he would chop that chicken. I'm like, that was kind of hot. I'm just gonna say. Anyways,
The
we're jumping
lobster
ahead.
girl,
We're
the
jumping
lobster.
Oh,
Last week, the lobster. That had me. Sorry.
There you go. No, I would do him for sure. I
Pushing
would.
out meat where I didn't even know meat was.
Yeah, Gordon can push anything out of me that you'd like. That's fine.
This got on a whole different topic.
So we finished the blue team
what
finishes
happens when you get us all together.
Exactly. We're reunited, guys. We're making up for lost time. The blue team finishes their plates. The red team's still struggling because they're undercooking the meat still. So they have to really work hard. Eric finishes it off. They get it out. And the veterans start voting. And as we're talking about too, just we've seen them come up single file, just kind of pushing the button, red or the blue, and they're doing their salutes.
And the saluting.
Even
Yeah.
the little,
Yeah.
it was like an old man in a walker
Yes.
that could barely walk.
And people were cheering. I just loved it.
And I like his was just like a little wave to everybody. He's like, thanks, guys. And I was like, oh, all right. How could your heart not go out to these guys?
I know.
And then we find out who wins. Who'd you guys think was going to win? Just based on everything that you saw up at that point.
Well, I
And
thought
it's
I thought
suspense.
Red had a chance.
They had
I
a
thought they
chance.
had a chance. And then after the plates came back, I wasn't sure, but I was like, but if it tastes good, maybe they still have a chance. Because at first I thought I saw a lot of the BTS, everyone was saying they liked the red. I thought I saw
it
that.
seemed like it was a lot
There
of
was.
it.
I thought
They-
I saw that. But, I don't know how they edit these things to make us
Yeah.
think that.
They definitely skewed it in the editing towards like the red team's getting a lot of praise.
Right.
Yeah.
But then when we got the tally back, it was like 20-70 or something.
Yes.
Ridiculous.
The blue team wins it, and we find out that it was 77 votes for blue, 24 for the red. So it was a blowout. So not so good for our red team there. So that means they got to face the pressure test. They go back to the kitchen and they say, all right, one member of their team is going to be safe on the balcony, and you've got 3 minutes to decide, or everybody's gone.
Yeah.
Which, all right.
That was funny.
Yeah. So I like how they end. Maria, they went to a different room.
The wine room.
Yeah, and so they were kind of.
Which was still in the room.
Yeah.
So what do they do to themselves?
Oh, they were sequestered.
All right. Yes.
I'm like, wait, what?
I know. I didn't know where he was going with that. I learned
I thought
a
this
word.
was some dirty joke or
You
something.
guys, this goes to I
Shooting
know. I was sitting
themselves.
there. I'm like, what is? For those of you who do not watch our Hell's Kitchen after show, I did not know what the word sequestered means, and there was this big funny moment when I learned it.
It was a
and
learning
everyone
lesson
likes to,
via
likes
Lem
to give me-
Gonzalez.
Yes, shout out to Lem, the poet saint, all day, every day.
All day.
All day, every day.
But anyways, that is what Frank is giving me a hard time about because I'm never going to live it down. But it was one of the funniest moments of my
Yes.
entire life. I laughed so hard I cried. And I couldn't breathe.
That's a big word.
So that's on YouTube if you guys want to watch it. Our
Oh, it
very
is
last
great. It is
Hell's
great.
Kitchen.
It's delightful. I
so
loved
worth
it.
it.
So they sequestered themselves, and this is where we get to see David be a bit of a jerk about this. He's like, "Hey, I was the leader. I should get a pass automatically because I stepped up to be the captain of this." Would you
No
have
one
given her a
agreed.
pass? Yeah,
no one
nobody
agreed. And then they said unanimous decision. He was like, it's still not unanimous. And
Yeah.
it's like, it is unanimous. You're the only one person.
Well, and they had said if you could vote for someone besides yourself, like have a selfless moment, be a team player, and say who you would have besides. And if everyone's voting for Eric, I mean, just go with that. And if you're a strong enough chef, you should be able to own it in the competition.
Yeah, don't let it get you down.
Yeah.
Let it get you stronger.
Do you feel stepping up as captain and you lose? Does that automatically just the fact that you stepping up should buy you an exemption?
No, absolutely not.
If
And that's
anything, you
honestly
should
how
be
he
out
felt.
there. Yeah.
Because if you were such a
You
great
gotta
captain,
go down with the ship.
Yeah.
Homie.
There you go.
The captain has to go down with the ship.
That's a
You
good
don't get
analogy.
to jump on the little boats
Right.
with the wife and
Yes.
children. You can't do that. You
Have
have
you
to stay
seen
behind.
Titanic?
That's right.
But no
go
one does
down
that
with the ship.
anymore.
He went
They
in.
always escape and try and sneak and cowardly get off the ship, which was what David was doing.
That's right. Because it's
No
one thing-
offense, David. I like you. I like you a lot. Just
Really?
saying.
It doesn't seem like it.
I'm just being real. I'll call a spade a spade.
Step up.
Because I feel like if the judges say, all right, David, go ahead, go up to the balcony, that's one thing. If they've decided they choose you to go up there because they think you've done good as a captain. But for you to sit in there in the room and say, like, hey, I deserve it just because I was captain, then I think.
And if everyone chose you, that's different too.
Yeah.
But you can't fight for yourself if everyone's not on board.
Yeah. And the consensus, they want to go with Eric. And I just like David is just so ticked off that nobody's given him like this pass. I stepped up. I should get this advantage. What's going on? But we get Eric. He's up safe and sound on the balcony. And I like Eric, so I was happy to see him up there.
I mean, they didn't show much of him during the competition of like why they would have picked him. Yeah, that was the only thing. I mean, I think a lot of people like him. But if they all said it, then
obviously he must have been doing it. What station was he covering?
I think he was doing the meat because he helped finish off at the end when it was undercooked. So he kind of finished it off at the end. So I assume he was working meats.
No,
but I'm not sure.
Like even when it was raw. No, Manny was doing the.
Manny and Eric, I guess, were together on that red team. So
Manny was probably sending them out raw, and Eric was probably fixing them, maybe.
Yeah,
or something
I don't know.
Like that.
I think that probably sounds. Let us know if you guys know.
Yeah, but I mean,
I
think the team made a good choice because even Christina says well deserved when Eric stepped forward and sent him up. So I feel like they kept that they were seeing what was happening during the competition.
Yeah,
so
right.
All right, I feel like they made a good choice, and we find out what the pressure test is. It's chicken.
Fried chicken.
I'm so hungry watching that.
I wanted some fried chicken.
And then we get to the part that made Maria weak in the knees. Gordon Ramsay breaks down a whole chicken right for those folks. And
his master class.
Man, I could watch him forever. Just like when he does the knives and he's just like sharpening it up and then going to work. Ugh.
I watch a lot of his cooking stuff on YouTube. Just because I love learning from him, but it's so funny because he just moves like the whole time, and just like the camera's like, it's if you watch his YouTube stuff. Seriously.
Is it enchanting?
It's amazing. I can't. It's like. I
love it. And it was just interesting, just like, and let the knife do the work. Let the knife do the work.
But it's true though. I mean, if you have really good knives, then they should be what's doing the work. You know what I mean? It's just like you do a serrated knife. You're not just gonna like push it. You let the knife. There
were a few parts where when he said "let the knife do the work" and he's like hitting it, and I was like, because I would have been fighting,
trying to saw through it.
I've done that actually before, so I am not the cook on the panel, obviously.
Now, Maria, how good are you at breaking down a chicken like that?
I'm kind of crappy at it. I can't tell you how many times I've tried to actually even just like carve a roasted chicken, and I just get it everywhere. So I need to practice a little bit more.
Now, watching him break it down here, it certainly is edited and stuff, but in watching that, useful, or it's like
totally
super.
And I've seen it done before, but there's just something different that happens when he does
because it's him.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, that's true. I could sit there and watch him. Like for his the F word, he always did like a little segment where he would be at his home or his stage home, and he'd be doing some sort of dish, and it was just awesome.
It's amazing to watch him. It really is.
And he'd always finish it like whatever the recipe was, and then it'd be done, and then it'd be like, okay, that's awesome.
Yeah,
amazing.
That's crazy. And it's so clean. Like everything that he had done, it was like these perfect pieces.
Super effortless.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he breaks it down. We've got 2 breasts, 2 thighs, 2 drums, and 2 wings, all broken down. So easy. And we find out that now it's not just breaking it down, but they also have to make fried chicken. Look at that, with your very own little Gordon Ramsay little chicken box right up there.
That was funny.
That was
I
hilarious.
like that touch.
And Tenoria, our favorite here on the panel, she was excited. I mean, Southern girl. Yeah.
Right.
She knows, like, hey, I've got a Southern fried chicken recipe that's going to blow everybody away. Now we're it all on this.
I was actually really looking forward to watching her do it, too. I want to watch her cook. Like, I feel like she should have her own show. Because I love watching her, legitimately. I think she's just interesting. And I think what she does is she's just... It's
she
like
literally
part of her.
Yeah, I was gonna say she really puts herself in everything that she makes.
She has such like amazing history with it. It's just I love her stuff.
Now, one thing that Christina says that she goes like the chicken will burn if they put the seasoning on the outside of the flour. But is that different than mixing it in with the flour?
I mean, it must have. I thought that was kind of a weird thing to say because you always mix it in with the flour. I guess she's saying like if she were to just do the flour and then yeah.
Okay.
But who does that? Well, you never know.
Yeah, yeah.
Because we saw someone who didn't even bread their chicken.
Oof, yeah.
Well, she put flour on it, but she didn't put any like butter and nothing wet. No eggs, no butter,
she didn't
no milk,
have it
no buttermilk.
stick. Yeah. So that was basically, you were as good as not putting flour on it.
Yeah.
Because it's only going to...
Well, the flour can make it crispy. Like a lot of times it's called dredging. When I make fish, it's called dredging. You literally, like, you want your fish to be, really clean and dry, and then you just dip, and I'm like patting the table. No one can see that. It's like you dip the fish lightly in flour on, and then just like dust it off. But it's a nice thin coating, and you put it in a hot pan with some oil, and that creates a nice thin crust on there.
What do you call that though? Do you call that? Okay,
it's dredging.
So that's
it's
not fried
no.
fish.
No,
it's dredged
just,
fish.
Yeah, it's called
Sounds
dredging.
delicious.
You dredge fish before you like saute it.
But then if you were to describe it to somebody, like I made blank, how would you describe it?
I would just say I wouldn't even say it's just fish. It's like sautéed fish.
Okay,
or
like
something.
a sauté, like a
but that's
flash-fried.
just the process. It's like how you dice, tomatoes. You're not going to say like this is
Tomatoes.
Yeah, just tomatoes
Just here's
on it.
some tomatoes.
It's just tomatoes. Yeah, it's just like in the process of it. It's not like I'm going to say this is olive oil chicken because I put olive oil in the pan. You know what I mean?
If someone
it's just
asks you to fry some chicken,
oh yeah, no, you gotta.
you're not gonna.
No.
You're not gonna do the whole dredging thing to the chicken.
Oh, well, no, I would use buttermilk or milk or
some eggs
whatever. Yeah,
okay.
but I have seen, this is on, oh my God, I'm thinking it's Taste at Home, but, okay, whatever. I'm going to think of the show probably after this, but I'll tweet it out. But the show, America's Test Kitchen, I got it. But they did this whole thing on fried chicken, and they didn't do anything but cornstarch and water. They did a couple dips of cornstarch and water, and they double fried it, and it was like super crisp, but it didn't have that batter type of thing. But
I would have needed to taste that.
I have never, but it's like really interesting, and I've had chicken like that before, where it has a nice crunch on the outside, and it's like, and it's moist on the inside. It'd be
And
really
it was delicious.
and it was, but it's not the it's not the traditional fried chicken.
Because everybody.
You can't beat the batter, like the actual like having that battered and crispiness on the outside.
For a second, I thought you were taking up for her.
Yeah, see,
No,
I thought.
no,
for a
I still
second-
don't think what she did was right.
Okay.
I'm saying there is a technique called dredging, and she did it incorrectly.
Whatever she was trying to do, whether it was frying or dredging, she didn't do either correctly.
It wasn't what they wanted.
Right.
Ultimately, they wanted something that had, this crust on the outside and like the batteredness that's like the KFC type of thing.
And we're all talking about Katie, and we do find out
Sorry,
when
I know.
No. But we find out because her point of view is that she's a health and fitness expert, where she's from. They're in Mississippi. So when it comes to fried chicken, I guess that's maybe not the most healthiest way to present chicken if you're trying to eat healthy.
I just don't think she knew how to make it.
So yeah, so her, even though she's as Aaron Sanchez says, there's a bunch of like little chicken shacks from around there. That's like where like fried chicken got its start. A lot of
You're
great
in
places
the
down there.
South.
Yeah. So she's eating that.
She was
She's
supposed to
seen it.
represent
Yeah.
from where she was.
I feel like the challenge in this competition, whether you're a vegetarian or maybe you're a health nut or something like that, is adapting, knowing when you can push your kind of point of view or your belief in food, and to when like I just got to go with the flow and cook the way they want me to cook.
We saw that with Diamond last week and the lobster.
Yeah.
She's a vegetarian, and she didn't want to touch it. It was alive.
She struggled, but she got through it. Yeah.
Sorry. Did I let my emotions out?
Yes, you did.
Weren't a big fan of Diamond last week?
I don't know. I mean, just like get over it. You're in a food competition. You know this going in.
Yeah, and same thing with the fried chicken too. I think like even if you're a health nut, they didn't say, hey, make us your healthiest version of chicken. No, we want the most delicious fried chicken you can possibly make.
I just don't
So
think she
I
knew how
think
to do
she
it.
probably hadn't done it before.
Yeah.
And
I don't think she knew how to do it, and I think she used that as her angle to like as her defense. Ooh, sorry.
slow down, Turbo. Yeah, I agree. I think that probably was the moment for her where
well, we have David. He's struggling just even breaking down the chicken because he's angry. He's still mad that he didn't.
letting emotions get the best of him.
Yeah, and Gordon saying, you just got to let that go, boy. You just got to let that go and just cook this. Just let it fuel your cooking here. You got to just let that go. Otherwise,
I thought he was going to do a really bad job at first because he was struggling
Yeah.
with breaking down the chicken.
But we see Tenoria, man. She's cooking Nashville hot chicken. And her grandmother will turn in her grave if she doesn't cook it right. So
I love that.
But I mean, even like Aaron and Christina, they're like, "Oh, this looks good." Just watching it, just like cooking there, right there. She's frying it up. It already was looking good. And then we see Manny. He's worried about the breast cooking through because he always struggles with that back at the firehouse. And we see that kind of ends up being his Achilles heel on this one because I feel like he just cooked that way too long because he was so worried
about the breast.
Yeah, which oof. Man.
Well, and then he put the oregano in the breading, which I thought was for a second I was like, this is either going to be really good or really bad. And I wondered if it was fresh or dried. I'm thinking it was dried. But yeah, I just feel like that like herbs could just burn so easily. And I feel like that added to maybe that burnt type kind of taste, you know?
Yeah, because Christina was having a hard time.
Yeah. And what are like, as we go back to Katie for a second, when Gordon asks her what she's doing, like, oh, what can I do now with only 5 minutes left? And Gordon's like, nah, I don't know.
Nothing.
But then we just see her like putting little bits of breading on the chicken. It's like, I'm gonna bread this as much as possible the time I have left. I'm like, what did you expect?
So confused.
This?
She's like, I'm gonna do what I can, and I'm sitting there watching. I'm like, but what is it that you're doing? Are you adding salt?
And what can you really do to make it better?
Yeah. There's nothing.
Yeah, nothing's sticking to this. You could just put as many breadcrumbs as you want on there, but nothing's sticking at all, is it? I don't think so. But they have to finish up, and we start checking it out. And we, of course, David being team captain, they pull him up first. He's a little angry. We're not sure how his chicken's going to turn out, but it actually tastes good. Like that, he was able to put away that anger. He did.
Well, yeah, life lesson.
He knows his strength. He knows his talent. I think he shouldn't have let that get the best of him.
No, because I mean,
you got to keep a cool head. He's a poker player.
Yeah, no kidding.
Where was his poker face?
That was a tell right there. Yep, bad.
That was just really weird and didn't seem like his character. But I think he really...
That's true.
He got touched.
Yeah, and I think if you were looking at the rest of like the 5 other people that you have to compete against, then you should feel pretty good. Like, I know I can at least beat one of these people. And as long as you know that, then you shouldn't be worried at all about this challenge at all.
He was just extremely butthurt.
Yeah, it's like, I was captain, guys. Captain.
Basically.
Oh. So then we have Terry come up. He did a double breaded fried chicken, extra crispy with a little heat, and he nails it. Mm-hmm. Look at that. Terry's...
In true Terry fashion.
Yes, and Christina says, you are a threat. So look at that. Mm-hmm. I'm excited about that. And then, Katie. Yeah, she just blows it, as we talked about before. Just, it's lightly floured in lemon zest with lots of salt and pepper. Not enough. And it's not fried.
Did they say anything about the taste for Katie's?
I think they said it just tasted like plain chicken. Didn't they really say? They didn't really say.
Yeah. I mean, it just didn't. It didn't have the crunch. It didn't have that kind of like that fried shell that you want.
It was good.
It was cooked. It was cooked. I mean, I guess that's what we can give you for that. Then we have Manny, as we talked about, overcooked.
It was just sad.
A lot of herbs, and as Christina says, it's okay at first, but then that burnt coating hits you, and it tastes like a forest fire. I felt bad. Yeah. Poor Manny. But then Tenoria comes in. They had high expectations, and she delivers. Not surprising. She's doing great so far. Mm-hmm. And then Diana comes in with she's again
that cornmeal.
Yeah, I like chefs. I've never made cornmeal crusted chicken, so this is the perfect time for
perfect time to try some new stuff.
I just don't understand that. Maybe have you never made fried chicken and then this is I don't know.
Yeah, this is always a perfect time to try something out of your that you've never done.
Yeah,
perfect opportunity. And she's hoping to get a credit for creativity.
She was so confident too when she was doing it. I watched it. I was like, I totally bought it. I'm like, oh yeah, okay.
And if everyone from the balcony can see how hard your chicken looks from the balcony.
They said it looked like it should be part of the Natural History Museum. I was cracking up.
And she
had jokes.
Oh yeah, and then she gets mad. She throws that little look at the people on the balcony. And I like Gordon's like, you can be mad at them, but you have to blame yourself for this.
That's why I love him.
They're safe.
Yeah.
Don't throw shade. Don't throw shade.
And because even last week she was confident about her dish too, and then it was not good at all, and she was down at the bottom.
Yeah.
So I feel like Diana is not long for this competition.
I don't think so either.
Well, I mean, I was expecting her or the other one to go home.
I know her. I actually didn't think Manny deserved to go home.
Yeah.
I thought the other two did.
Well, as they say that, she did, after that talking to with Gordon, she does feel like 99% sure that she's going home. And it turns out that Tenoria, Terry, and David, they're all safe. They head up to the balcony. And Manny, Diana, and Katie are in the bottom 3. Now, given that, who did you think was going to be going home? Just seeing those 3.
I thought it was going to be Katie for some reason. Was Katie the one who said Manny has somewhere to go back home to, or was it Diana? Someone said on their OTF.
Katie.
It was Katie. So she's like, I deserve to be here. This is my passion. Manny has a career
I see.
to go back to. He has his firehouse. Like, once he's done with this, that's what he's going back to do. He's not trying to pursue this. And when she said that, I was just kind of like, you don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, you're not there to make that decision for him. You don't know what's going on.
Just because you had an off night, don't try and knock the next one down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
weird.
Cause I imagine if you talk to Manny, like, do you want to be a fireman or would you like to be like a chef?
He'd probably say chef.
Yeah.
But at the same time, maybe just Manny wasn't ready for it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you just never know.
I really thought, just given the way, because I thought like Katie, at least, it may not have been really traditional fried chicken, but at least it was cooked properly. And I mean, who knows if like the taste was there. But Diana, I mean, it was just so hard. And I mean, Gordon spit it out.
I mean, he spit it out.
And said it was unpleasant. I mean,
I would have cried. I wish she did cry at that moment. A tear.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was appropriate.
I thought for sure thought for sure she was going home, but we find out that it's Manny.
That was
was
so
sad.
weird. That was super unexpected.
I think everybody was sad.
Yeah, for sure. And totally surprised. I was so blown away. I just really think
And he
that
had the best bites.
he
He was
did.
just funny.
know.
Just awesome.
I loved him.
But
His ab. He's like, I work out in my
that's
one
right.
ab.
But I did like
I
that
love
Aaron
that.
called him a class act. Said he was impressed by him the moment that he met him, and
I feel like he got the most time and consideration to leave.
Yes.
Yes.
They showed him hug everyone. We never see anyone else hug.
Yeah, not up to this point, no.
Right. No.
And when we interviewed Lisa Ann, she was telling us that when they were sequestered, they watched this Super Bowl together, and it was like all of them in one room, like one hotel room. They had like a mini grill, and like Manny was the one cooking for everybody, and like yeah. So she said that everybody, because we asked, I was like, how was everybody, off camera, and she said honestly, a lot of people were just, that's who they were, and they said Manny was always like big personality, super nice, and
Well,
I know I was bummed.
like I've said, the camaraderie is definitely there.
Yeah.
And they always support each other.
I was sad.
yeah. And Eric, his fellow fireman, just says he's bummed because he was like a brother to him.
Yeah, I thought that was sweet.
Yeah, talking to Manny last week, he felt like there definitely was a bond that was forged between him and Eric.
Aww.
Yeah, but he said he made Orlando, the fire department proud, made his family proud, and
I know he did.
He was so
made us
sweet with
proud,
his send-off.
too.
I know.
yeah.
His little send-off.
Yeah, when he
And-
turned around, he was like,
Yeah.
And then, he learned a lot of things that, including not how to burn fried chicken. So we're
Right.
taking that back with him there. So yeah, that brings it to the end of that particular episode. So Manny is gone. That's a shame. So we got some predictions for what lays ahead.
Ooh, predictions.
Oh, there goes the light.
There it is.
There
He
goes
woke
that
up.
light.
No, I'm
There
kidding.
goes the lights.
I
No
totally couldn't.
sound. It's AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
Did we put you to sleep? Did that happen?
Yeah. Thanks, Steve. So our predictions. I mean, we see next week a little tease that the chefs are cooking on a budget.
Yeah, that doesn't. But on a budget, but they look like with expensive ingredients, so
Right.
it's like very minimal.
So
I did not make it. Look at my notes. I have next week. I didn't write anything.
so we're going to really be on the fly.
Wow, on the fly.
So I mean, I think we've all talked about who we really like the best, with Tenoria and Terry.
Yeah,
We feel like
yeah.
they're really leading the pack. It's certainly their game to lose at this point. But who else right now are you kind of seeing like, man? I mean, I'm the Diana and Katie. I feel like
Yeah, I feel like they're on the low on the totem pole.
yeah, for sure.
Their time is coming.
Yeah.
If they don't step it up.
And I could easily see Eric, because I mean, I feel like Eric, as much as I like him, I don't know if he's. I mean, he's kind of skating by.
You
too.
think so?
I think I like him more as a person, but I mean, they're not giving us giving us much to work with as far as what
Yeah.
they're showing us when it comes to Eric. So I hope they give us a little
Yeah.
more insight on his abilities and his actual skills.
Yeah, because everybody seems to like him.
Yeah.
And I think
Super
he's very
likable.
likable, exactly. But it's like, yeah, we haven't seen much. I feel like nothing that he's done has been memorable to me in terms of his cooking. Where I'm like, yeah, I can't like. Whereas Tenoria, where you're like, oh yeah, I mean, her like gumbo
Hands
thing that she
down.
made, and like, I mean, her for everything she does, and we're like, okay, yeah.
I also think David, despite his little tantrum, I think
Has a lot of potential.
he has a lot of potential. Sean does too, but sometimes I think he gets too ahead of himself. So we'll see. I mean, his whole steak idea won everyone over.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to seeing where he goes. And what's our babies? Andrea and
I could not think of her name.
Oh, and Nathan.
Nathan. Those are our babies.
Nathan drives him crazy.
Drives,
Frank does not like Nathan.
No, I mean the suit coat. Why you got to wear the suit coat?
Every time he gets really mad about
It's
this.
so ridiculous. Why? It's just unnecessary. You don't need to. The bow tie I'll go with, because you could take that, but the jacket, that's just too much. You don't cook in a jacket. What are you doing? What are you doing?
I just want to see them head to head, really. But Andrea
I think
is
she
good.
would kill him.
Andrea is the
Yeah.
truth.
Yeah, I think she. I mean, she kind of like annoyed me in the beginning, but she's really pulled through in terms of cooking. I think she's been impressive. Especially
Yes.
for being so young.
No, I think I can see her going much farther than Nathan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just go, Nathan. Please just go. Just go.
Oh my God.
Give him a chance. Just close your ears and close your eyes. Look, close your ears and close your eyes and give him a chance.
That's right, yeah. Oh, he's still on this show? I didn't even know. All right, that's great. Yeah, but I mean, I am intrigued to see who goes further, Sean and David.
Those are the two I'm really trying to see who steps up and stays a little more focused. They have like personal problems, I think. I think they have personal issues that gets in the way.
Yeah, they're two in their heads.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like certainly with Sean, I feel like he always wants to be kind of like the alpha dog. He wants to be able to kind of run how things are done. But I think when it comes down to those individual challenges, like pressure test or just doing those mystery box challenges, that I feel like Sean can do really well in those situations.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't think I've seen him take a leadership role in one of like the like elimination challenges that they've done. So to see how he does in that kind of situation when he's actually running the show, as opposed to just being like the guy that has a bunch of ideas and is trying to really kind of run the ship.
Right. We will see.
Yes.
I know, but I do think those two are sort of equal, I guess, to me. But yeah, I think going home, I think Katie is my next prediction.
It's got to be Diana, because I mean, it's already 2 times she's really bombed out.
One of the two then. I guess I could see either one of them. Either way, I think neither one of them is gonna. Sorry.
No.
I mean, 2 people can go home in a night.
That's true. That's true. You never know.
Yeah, it's
that could be if that is your prediction and that happens. You are so accurate.
I would love that because they tease that so many
so I
times.
can make this moment into a GIF. I say both. I say both.
Just to cover your bases.
I say GIF.
Do
I don't
you know what
know.
it
That's
is?
why I say both.
I thought it was a GIF.
I think it's a GIF.
And some people say GIF.
But it's a G.
GIF. I'm gonna say
You can't get a GIF. You can't get a J out of a G. Can you?
GIF.
GIF. Just cover your bases. Say both, and you can't be wrong. Then.
There we go.
That's funny. Pretty sure that just made my night. Pretty sure that just happened.
So that is going to do it for this episode of MasterChef on AfterBuzz TV. But as I said,
Hashtag GIF.
Hashtag GIF. But if you, as I said, like us on Facebook, give us those 5 stars on iTunes, subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit us up on Twitter with your thoughts about the show as well.
Thumbs up,
Rhavin?
stars.
Yeah, give her thumbs up stars. If they want to continue the conversation even after the show's over, where can they find you?
You can find Rhavin with the V, McSweaney at B Stays Busy, Bizzy. I welcome all conversations, even if you're being mean.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Maria, how about yourself?
You can find me on Twitter at Maria Provenzano, and I like to talk about food. So
Hey.
Not just talking about it, but show you pictures of the delicious stuff that she makes as well.
Lots of recipes. So
Drool.
for all you cooking and baking fanatics, I have lots of stuff
Or
on there.
foodie
That's
fanatics.
true.
People
Or
just
foodie,
want to
yeah,
eat.
even if you just want to look at it.
Yeah, and I can't speak for everything, but I can tell you that everything that Maria has brought in here has been phenomenal. So,
Well, thank
yes, absolutely. You can follow me on Twitter at HappyGoJackie, and just throw me pictures of food, or just talk to me about your day, or how everything's going. You can, whatever you want to do, I'm fine. I'll chat with you about anything. Why not? Let's just talk.
He really will.
Talk. Yeah, do it. So, folks, that does it for us. We'll see you next week here with another episode of MasterChef After Show here on AfterBuzz TV. See you then.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.